Shatun Lake now, following the path of the Chagres River, the original route that they dug this 175 square mile lake in, one of the largest man-made lakes in the world. Pilot got on board at 8:30, about 45 minutes ago. We've been underway for about 20 minutes, passing probably 100 boats waiting at different stages of getting in or out of the Panama Canal. They originally put these lighthouses in as beacons, of course, and now they've become electronic beacons. Just left them in place as mileage markers. They're all over the place. 132 of them, I think they said. There's some more of those old lighthouse, now electronic markers. Just got a description that those buoys close to this island here, they move the island back because they're straightening the islands in the channel, getting ready for the future expansion where they'll have more big ships coming through. They want them to get them through the lake and the channels faster. This Caitlin Cut. This is an example of the cutting and terracing they're doing to widen the channel here for big ships. They cut away a lot on this side and they're cutting a lot on the other side. See the width of the channel at this point. Cutting down the islands, hundreds of islands here, mountaintops. They flooded the valley like a giant Lake Lanier. We're going by Gamboa now. This is where we went over this little bridge we're going to see in a few minutes. We went up to the Gamboa Resort here, jungle resort, tropical resort. We saw the Indians, and here's some of the dredges he was talking about. Cranes, this is responsible for the cranes and the dredging and the lighthouses and the buoys. The workboat, looks like a tugboat, but I think it's one of the workboats here. Cranes, working area. That's actually the land side of the canal. We'll be going through the next set of locks in a few minutes and zoom on that bridge up ahead. We went over that bridge. It's a one-lane bridge, got a stoplight, and that's the entrance into Gamboa. These cars are going across the bridge.
The Chagres River. We have been sailing on the Chagres River route.
The Chagres River is coming underneath that.
But as I said, this starts to look far lane south.
It's a railroad bridge as well. The railroad we took up to Colón came across that bridge.
At this point, as we pass this bridge, the freighter coming out of the cuts. We are about to enter the famous Culebra Cut or Gaylord Cut.
Going into the Gaylord Cut as soon as we go around the bend.
It was the engineer in charge of it, David Dubois Gaylord.
Named after the engineer in charge of making the cut.
In charge of this. But at the same time, during those first years, they were still digging on the cut, so they had to avoid the water from flushing from the lake behind us into the cut in front of us. So there was a dike here, crossing. Once the cut was finished, they leveled it gradually, the water. And it was President Woodrow Wilson that pressed a button by telegraph in Washington and blasted this dike and joined both sides. Finally, both sides got together, came together. This is where the big saying came through: the land divided, the world united. Canal builders divided the continental divide in half. When the main continental divide, the higher mountains are further up.
That's a barge with a crane on it or next to it. It's going down the water and bringing up dirt. They're widening and deepening the cut. We're in the Gaylord Cut now. And that guy's going down, getting dirt close to the edge. And he said they're going to drill holes on the edge and blast it to make this cut much wider. We got a bunch of PVC pipes they're putting in. Getting ready to do some more drainage. Get it deep. Blast this section away and make it twice as wide. We're still in the cut. Here's some more dredges digging and widening and getting ready for the bigger boats to come in a couple years. And there is the famous Intercontinental Bridge. We'll be going underneath that again.
Now, coming up, it's called Mindy. Was ordered specifically for the new locks construction as they started the digging in those years. Imagine a big vacuum cleaner where it has like a kind of like a drill type of header, you know, able to crush rock, and that's pumped into the machine. That comes sucked into the machine, and the machine itself, the barge just pumps it through a pipeline behind it into shoreline, where at this time they are.
That's the vacuum cleaner barge, and that's the pipeline running the soil to shore. They don't have to use a barge to put the dirt into. It goes right onto the shore. Some bulldozers smoothing out the dirt that they're bringing up. Pipe dumps it out, and the bulldozers smooth it out up the hill, all the way up this hill, maybe to the other side.
As the French companies,
That's Contractors
private
Hill.
companies hired many companies
French time.
to work similar to what the canal is doing today.
That's the end of a pipeline there where they're
So this is
got
the main
those
Continental
steam
Divide.
shovels.
Continental Divide.
We're going across the Continental
Contractors
Divide
Hill
now.
on the right.
Contractors Hill
The chain
and
of
Gold
mountains start to
Hill.
lift up for Central America.
This is the Continental Divide right here. We're going past. These mountains go all the way to the Sierra Madre, north, south to the Andes, and after Mexico you get into the Rocky Mountains. Going underneath Centennial Bridge. We're 85 feet above sea level at this point. Centennial Bridge, because it was finished in 2004. That was the 100th anniversary of Panama getting their independence from Colombia due to the United States intervention with the canal.
Just follow the terracing line forward, you can see the stars move over.
We get both extensions of the bridge at this point. Beautifully done. 262 feet. It goes down about 200 feet, I think he says.
Inner choices. Number one, we have to. For lunch, we're gonna have barbecue.
The new access channel is behind that big
New access channel
hill, man-made
along
hill there. They're
the
digging.
same area, but in a total new channel. They're gonna extend the cut. Straight in front of us, an orange and green arrow
Pedro Miguel Lux.
tells the pilot that tells right away which lane we're gonna be using. If the arrow it's vertical, point.
That's the arrow, he said.
Horizontal, that means
That arrow.
moving the right way.
So So we can approach the locks now. That arrow tells us it's okay. Green. We can go into the lock.
We're doing about 12 to 13 knots, so that's why they gave
Captain is steering us into position here. With his controls and his mouse-like device. This big tanker is slowly moving through the lock. Volka, our pilot, is making sure everything's okay. She's got her controls there right in front of her. She's managing the locks, doing a beautiful job, Volka.
Step in this set of locks.
Pedro Miguel locks are the smallest locks in the canal. We go down one step with this, one of three. Couple big barges coming at us here. There's the pilot doing his job, talking to the people on the ground, bringing it over to the shoreline. Using his thrusters. Thrusters a little bit.
So
the line now.
that line now, we're going to be tied up too long.
Tied up here, right behind the gate. Okay, we're tied up now, waiting for the gates.
Position also behind us, and once it's in, close the gates behind us.
First gate starting to close on our side here.
Right.
Start transferring the water. Or chamber towards the lake in front of us.
So the B is out that way.
We are coming down 31 feet in this lock. It's the smallest lock in the group of three. 2 more steps to go and we'll be heading towards Panama City. You get a shot of the railroad tracks that were below us and now they're above us. We're going down. This is how far we've come down this lock. Gates are opening. Oh, double gates.